Okay, in the second part of the maze tutorial, we need to consider about programming our character. So double click on the object character. We've created an object for the character and one for the wall. So when you create the object character, you're going to have some events that we're going to add. And when you click on the event, add event, and we want the character to move, of course we've got keyboard options. We've got three actual options. We've got the keyboard, the key press, and the key release. Well, let's talk about the difference between the three. On the key press, it triggers the action when the button is held down only once. So if you press the button down, your action happens one time. On the key release, the same thing. When the key is released, it triggers the action one time. But on the keyboard, when you hold the button down, your reaction or your action happens continually until you let go of the keyboard. So for us, in this tutorial, we're just going to do our keyboard, all right? So we're going to start with our keyboard, and we're going to start with a left action for our character, all right? And then we want to add a jump to for our character. So now we're presented with an X and Y coordinate. And remember from your math class that our X is our horizontal movement, and our Y is our vertical movement. And then in Game Maker, we have to learn a little bit about the coordinate system, since the middle of the coordinate system is not in the middle of our Game Maker. So left is going to be our negative value, and right would be positive, and up would be our negative value, and down would be positive. So if we're going on our left, we're going to put this as a -4. And we're going to leave our Y as 0 because this is our left key. And we're going to check relative and do OK. Okay, so now we're going to add our event, and we're going to do keyboard right. And we're going to do jump to again. And this time our value for X is going to be our +4, and Y will be 0, and check relative. Then we want to add our keyboard up event. And remember, up is negative. So this time, when we bring over our jump to, our Y is going to be -4 relative. And then our last one is going to be our down. Remember, down is positive. So when we bring our jump to, our Y is going to be 4 and relative. So now we have all of the movements for our character. So if we click on our room, bring up our room, and go down here and choose our object character, and place your character right here in the room, then go up here to the green arrow and run the game. Let's look and see what our character does. So now our character moves. Of course, we'll have to work on some solid and some more programming for the walls. But look, when he runs right and left, it's the same character. And we would like to change it so that when we move up and down and right and left, we have a different character. And we might also want to go back in there and remove that whiteness from our sprite. So let's do that, okay? So I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to come back in here to the sprite. I'm going to show you how to do it with one sprite, and then I'm going to pause the tutorial and let you guys work on all the rest of the sprites. So open up one of the sprites and go to Edit Sprite, and then what you want to do is you'll want to go to Images, Erase a Color, and you'll want to pick on the white. And then you will move the tolerance until all of the white has disappeared. Do you see over here? And then you just get the checkerboard pattern in the back. Now there's some white on the character, so you have to be careful at what point you've moved the background, but you haven't messed up the character. I think for me it's going to be somewhere right around 37, 47, right in there, okay? And once you do it to one image, it does it to all the rest of the images. So now go back in and fix all of your sprites, okay? Now, of course, you won't need to come into the sprite wall and do that because you won't need there's no white background here, okay? So we won't have to edit that. So now our character is here. We've lost our white background in our room. So we're going to start programming now. So the first thing we want to do is open up our wall and make sure our wall is solid, which it is, and then we're going to program our character about hitting the wall. So we said that we wanted the character to change when they went left, up, right, and down. So the first thing we want to do is click on the left button. So we're going to add a key press left this time. And we're going to come over here and look for the little Pac-Man character, which is how we're going to change our sprite. And then, of course, we want to choose our sprite left. We're going to leave the sub-image 0 and the speed 1. And then we want to go and do that for each one of our events. So now on the key press right, I'm going to bring the change sprite over and choose the sprite right and do OK. And then again, key press up and then key press down until I get all of them in there, okay? Okay, so now when we press each one of the sprites, it should change the character. So let's go test that. We know our character is already in the room. See? It says right and left, and then up and down. Okay? So see how easy it was for us to just switch our character? We're going to work on going through the walls here in a minute. So close that back out and back into the left programming of our character. So this will be the end of part 2. In the next part, we'll add some more collisions with our character.